to another episode of Hoops and Football. I am Shannon, as always. Welcome to this episode. And today I'm going to do probably a little bit early as well as my last few videos. I'm going to do a couple of players I think that we should draft, going off the idea of maybe we don't trade in any senior players or experienced players and just take the picks. Previous videos I've done trading out picks and who I think we should trade out and what we should try and get back in. I've also done a video about trying to trade, slide down a few spots in this year's draft to get, say, a couple extra first rounders to then try and get some more future picks as well. So just more manipulating in around the grey areas. But this one I've done a bit of research on three players that I've only gone with three. I'll have a couple honourable mentions at the end. Obviously, this can totally change off the draft. We all know that we all know we have pick 2 and 3 right now, but that can change considering West Coast can be given pick 2. So then obviously we can slide down to pick 3 and 4, and that can change probably some of these players. Obviously, the coach's talent is going on, so that can change by how they play. It's just who I think the Tigers will go after, and probably some of the reasons why. There's a bit of a profile written down for the players. So I'll tell you what they're ranked as right now of what they are. But if every website I've read who've profiled players, they change. You know, some have Cooper Duff Totler as number 1, then it's Will Dersma, and it's just constantly changing right now, which was the same as last year. So I've just picked 3. We might use one of the picks to take them. Who knows? They might all 3 of these guys might slip to us, and it's a hard choice to make. But I started off with one of our picks, or one of the players. Sorry, it was Will Dersma. Now I know a lot of people have issues with the Dersmas because of the ones at North and ones at Essendon. They seem to start off really good and go hot, but Dersma seems to be quite a utility for everything I've read. But so Will Dersma plays for Gippsland Power and Vic Country. He's a mid/defender, which is probably pretty good to have considering, Short's coming near the end of his career. Nick Vloster, Nathan Broad, so it's quite good. He's 191 centimetres, so he's quite tall and versatile. He's played 1 national champions game so far. Obviously, this is all the information I've got so far. And he had 27 disposals. Dersma's been thrown around the ground this year through team needs. His flexibility has led to inconsistency in his role, as it is interrupting his defence, deep forward and midfield. Dersma's greatest strength, as he's an elite athlete in transition with speed, power, and a brilliant leap. His strong first-up performance for Vic Metro through the midfield flashed Dersma's top-tier upside as a potential on-baller. The shades that rate him is a Will Day from Hawthorn. So just going off the little bit of a breakdown that they've given out, it's quite good because it's hard to find these days to find a bit of a swingman. And I could definitely say that Richmond could use a bit of a swingman, a man that can go forward and can go back and can go middle and play good every single game. Probably a really good replacement for Nick Vloster, because Nick Vloster seems to be that player for us right now. And he has through his career. He could play forward, he could play middle, and he can play back, as we know. So, Will Dersma could be maybe our first pick. I got a weird feeling he'll probably go to West Coast. If West Coast gets pick 1 and 2, they could take Cooper Duff Totler and Will Dersma, get their ruckman and get their midfield/forward/defender apparently to do it. But it's good. It's got speed. I love the fact that they says he has speed in it, and transition speed as well, because it's what Richmond lack right now is a bit of speed, especially with someone so hot as well. So that's one of the picks we could go. It's hard to say right now with how the draft is all building up, but it's all a bit of a wait and see. So the next one was Josh Lindsay. I'm quite high on Josh Lindsay. I think he would make a great duo with Sam Banks off that halfback. And it seems to be the way the modern AFL is switching nowadays. You need to have at least 1 to 2 elite runners and kickers off your halfback. Otherwise, you seem to get overrun quite easy. People are launching, or clubs are launching more of their attack and offense from the halfback. Um, Gold Coast is really good at that. So is Collingwood and Geelong. So it shows you a few of the top teams in the competition have got 2 to 3 players that can do that halfback dashing. And Josh Lindsay from Geelong Falcons plays Vic Country. He's a mid/defender, 183 centimetres. He's played so far with I've got is one national champions game. He had 28 disposals and 8 marks. So he's blessed with a laser left footer. Apparently Ooze loves left footers, and left footers always seem to be really good kickers. As we all remember, Sam Newman, who's now coaching at Richmond, was a great left foot kicker. So, and so is Sam Banks. So, Lindsay at his best, picking off passes through the corridor off halfback. He wants the ball in his hands and loves taking the game on. And with a dash, making him damaging weapon for a club and state. Elite ball user as well. And which you could see Lindsay rise to the top 5 coming into the year. So he could end up being a top 5 prospect. Right now he's rated to be number 7 overall. I think I had him in another one I found he was rated number 5. So you can see that the way he's going, he's probably going to be pushing for a top 5 selection. Just going off that, just that little breakdown already tells me that he probably should be playing for Richmond. A dashing halfback, a damaging left foot, a player that's willing to take the game on, and that's what I would love to have with Banks as well. They both would play a very similar role, but imagine having 2 of them going non-stop. And the fact that he's an elite ball user. Now I know that might not transition straight away to AFL, because Luke Trainer in his draft class, or his assessment of Luke Trainer, was an elite ball user, and obviously we've seen he was one stage rated one of the worst kicks in the AFL. But that obviously will give him some time to grow, and maybe become that controlling defender off the halfback with elite speed and elite kicking ability. So definitely all for having him as one of our 2 picks. Then I've moved on to Sam Grillage. I think that's how you say it. Not 100% sure. If I've said it wrong, I do apologise. Please leave it in the comments below if I have, or would like to at least know. Here's another one I'm quite interested in as well. So it says he's Oakley Chargers Vic Metro, which means he's probably knows Josh Smiley. Pretty sure Josh Smiley was an Oakley Charger, so at least he will be coming into a club having someone who captained him in his. I think he played a little bit in his underage, so he would have seen a bit of Smiley around and had a chance to come in with somebody to help him out, which is quite good to have. It says he's a midfield, so he's just a pure midfielder. I know some people say we have too many midfielders, but you might be able to want to take him and go, well, that's fine. We can leave him in the VFL for a year or 2, try and do a Geelong and build him up before he comes in. So it's all just opinions, and just a few names I thought we'd throw away and get this started, because it's getting near the end of the year now. So he's 182 centimetre midfield, national champions, 1 game, 18 disposals, 16 handballs. So his name is the Speedy Grill. Grillage has caught the eye of recruiters by his national champions. Will go on a great deal to proving worth in the draft. Grillage, pronounced Grill, it says, is a confident either snaking through traffic or hitting the afterburners in pace. He is a quintessential line breaker, but found the conditions tough at South Australia and couldn't find the space to use his foot skills. So obviously he's a bit of a flaw. Obviously he's had issues with finding the ball, but maybe you just give him the VFO and get a bit of confidence. But yet again, if you look at most of the players I've picked, they've got speed and quite good foot skills, which seems to be what we're lacking. The last month or so is quite evident of that. It's not knocking any of the players we have or drafted, but it just shows you that it's a few things I think we need to address coming into this draft if we don't go different paths. So those are the 3 that I've picked. Sam was rated between 11 and 8, so he's pushing towards top 10. I know people say, well, that's a bit of a jump if we've got say pick 3 and 4. But the idea is you're taking the players that the club itself wants and what suits the club's needs, and that's what I've gone for, is the club needs. I I did forget to, with Josh Lindsay, I did forget to say that he's shades of Josh Dacos. I'll happy to have that every time. And Sam Grillage, or Grill, is shades of Cody McKercher from those. So that's the 3 I picked. And I've got 2 honourable mentions. I just think I find them, they might either one be too high or will be gone before we get them. The other one I think it might be too low unless we are trading picks. So I've gone Cooper Duff Tytler as an honourable mention, but I just think he's going to go number 1 to West Coast because he's that unicorn of a ruckman that's a hybrid sort of ruckman that can play midfield and forward. And he's been a few times in his under-18s comp where he has actually played as a midfield and not the ruck. So that just shows you how versatile he is. And Fred Rodriguez, he's a highly talented player, top 10 prospect, but from WA. I just have a lot of issues these days with wanting to draft players that are not from Victoria. It just seems to be they want to go home factor is just quite strong these days. Look, it could be wrong. We've also got Ben Miller, who's from WA, and he's never ever shown any signs of wanting to go. I think it's just a bit raw from the Jack Graham, Liam Baker, and Shea Bolton all going at once. So I'm just trying to, in a way, predict the future of not wanting to have to deal with a go-home factor. If you bring up a young talent, draft him and go through all what West Coast is going through with Harley Reid. So that's it, guys, for this episode. If you do or don't like, let me know. If you have any other names that you would like me to look into, and eventually make another video, a couple more players probably as well, please leave them in the comments below. Hit that like and subscribe button. Help me hit 500 subscribers. As always, go Tigers and stay safe.